Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Red Flags Only podcast, where we dive into things you thought you understood but might have missed some warning signs along the way. I am your host, Dion Royal, and I hope you have all had a wonderful holiday. Welcome to 2025. Well. Our first story of the year takes us to the glittering, utterly dysfunctional world of sports broadcasting. Fox Sports is, maybe have to call it a freaky sports network, is facing a scandal that is a little messier than an uncoordinated toddler at a spaghetti dinner. Allegations of sexual harassment and misconduct have surfaced involving none other than your broadcasting guy Skip Bayless and also somebody called a daisy cutter by proxy, our fan favorite and super fine Joy Taylor. Yep, the Fox Sports, where the drama off the camera is way more riveting than the games that they analyze. Now, if you don't know who Skip Bayless is, he's like the uncle at Thanksgiving who always insists on explaining why Michael Jordan is better than LeBron James. And he would be right, even if you didn't bring it up. But Skip kind of has built a career out of saying the loudest, wildest, most polarizing things about sports, particularly LeBron James and Tom Brady. His sports takes are very, very, very highly opinionated, but they are also very well researched and well written. Say what you want about the man, he do his homework, and he's a bit of a student and historian of the game. You can't take that away from him. Now, there is a reason that this dude was able to command the highest salary in the field for so long. He was kind of like the gold standard of getting paid in this industry, and all the talent kind of sought to get paid like him, if not by kind of doing the same thing. Really, like some people just kind of outright copied the style, and they kind of took their cues. Took their cues from his career path, because he seems to have been the most successful doing what it is he does. He's not an athletic guy. His brother Rick Bayless is the chef, and I feel like his brother's a way better chef than he is a sports guy. But that's kind of just getting off the subject a little bit. But I love Rick Bayless. He kind of taught me some barbecue techniques that's off the chain. Like I said, he's way more useful to me than his as cooking than his brother is at sports. But even though we could all see that Skip was talented, we also could see how big his ego was. Even though we really never had no evidence of him doing anything wrong or anything like that on the back end, I think the incident where he disrespected his wildly popular co-host Shannon Sharp, that might have been the incident that kind of broke him, because as it turns out, he might have been even louder and more polarizing and more aggressive and worse behind the scenes to other co-workers and employees, and probably doing some of the most heinous things possible, allegedly. Now, I'm gonna be honest, Skip has always seemed a little weird with some strange passive-aggressive energy, especially towards LeBron. But his Brady ball gargling has been off the chain. Like I like Tom Brady, he cool and shit, but I ain't never seen nobody benefit from rule changes and shit getting kind of slanted in his favor than Brady had. But that's another story for another day. To be honest, besides the passive aggressive energy, he's always come off as a little bit moist, maybe closeted, but definitely a little strange. You could say. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. Let's get that straight now. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that I always envisioned if this dude was going to have some sexual allegations brought up against him, another man would be bringing him charges, period. This case has a lot of moving parts, and a bunch of different people were implicated at different levels. None was more surprising to me than Joy Taylor, who is alleged to have had multiple concurrent sexual relationships with employees and executives at the station. Yes, Lord, Joy hustling that monkey, baby. Currently, there are allegations that she was sleeping with Charlie Dixon, a former NBC and ESPN executive who joined Fox as the executive vice president of content for FS1 in July of 2015. And basically his job was to oversee all content and production on the channel. And Joy was also alleged to have had relationships with um, Emmanuel Acho, the former NFL linebacker and host of Freaky Shit One Speak for Yourself program. Now, to say all of this is surprising is an understatement, because Joy never. I mean, she came off with some hood rat hyena slash adjacent tendency, but it was never like outright, I'm a monkey hustler. But I mean, it's not unbelievable. It's just surprising because this type of information really never makes it to the public. I'm sure that this happens on a regular basis, allegedly. As even the plaintiff in this case, what's her name? Nushin, I'm hoping I get this right. Nushin Faraji has documented in his lawsuit that employees that usually have a beef with the company are forced out and encouraged to sign an NDA. In my mind, the NDA is probably the order of the day, just because the company can make your job unbearable, reduce your hours, stagnate your pay, and put you in that broke, starving, and game banging, frame of mind, that position that necessitates that you take whatever they offer or risk kind of losing everything. And that's normally how it happens with the NDA. They put so much pressure on you on the financial side, on the public relations side, that you really don't have a choice but to kind of take it, lick your wounds, cover your losses, and move on. These are multi-billion-dollar corporations. Let's get that straight. This is a multi-billion-dollar corporation that probably sees it as a better financial and PR move just to kind of make a disgruntled employee a settlement offer, accompanied by NDA. And that'll cost them a few thousand, as opposed to losing millions in viewership and sponsorship money that bad public relations can bring. Now, besides the sexual misconduct allegations, Ms. Faraji also indicated that there were other issues that plagued her time with the station. The plaintiff alleges that after starting with the network in 2012, she would bring her own tools of the trade with her. And what she did not know is that all employees that brought in their own tools were allotted a kit fee as compensation for using their own equipment. And Ms. Raji states that she was unaware of this practice and did not receive a kit fee until approximately 7 years later in 2019. She also alleges being forced to perform duties outside the scope of her employment contract, like performing the duties of a barber. Yet she was simply contracted as a stylist. I don't believe it was that she was unable to execute the haircuts, personally, in my opinion, but I think the issue was that she was only paid to style hair, and that was the real issue. At least that's what I can get from the documents, and I'll leave a link to the documents in the description. Now, the plaintiff, Ms. Raji, also alleges that she and Joy Taylor became friendly around 2016 and began to hang out together from time to time, because Miss Taylor is from Miami and she was recently married, and she had intimated that she was lonely out in LA and she didn't have, a lot of friends. So, Miss Raji agreed to kick it with her, and then, she meets her at the bar one night, and and Joy Taylor's already there having drinks with a guy. That guy happens to be Mr. Dixon, the president of programming, who Miss Raji didn't know. Now, Miss Taylor introduced him as a friend and kept it moving, but from the looks of things, it looked like they was fucking. Let's be honest. And we all understand the body language of two people that are having sexual relationships, or two people that's fucking when we around, and we can see it. You know what I mean? Especially in men. You know what I mean? Men tend to be a little more, protective. The body language is a little bit different when they talking to a regular, just a woman that they friendly with, as opposed to a woman that they fucking. And it just is what it is. We all know what it is. Now, come on, we all grown. Joy is hustling that monkey. We can see it. Now, Miss Faraji, once she found out who that guy was, she still tried to be friendly with Joy, but tried to stay out that jam, because Joy fucking with old boy could go left and be bad for business for everybody. Now, next thing you know, Joy gets the undisputed gig with Skip and Shannon, and Faraji starts working on the set as a stylist. And then next thing you know, Skip is offering her dick and money to the tune of $1.5 million. Now, look, I got to stop here and ask this question. Come on, Skip. Come on now, Skip. Skip. Was this a negotiation? Let's be honest, Skip. Was this a negotiation and you just ended up at 1.5 because she kept raising the fee or raising the stakes, or did you just start straight up at the 1.5? Is she that fine? I mean, or are you as lame and as goofy as I always thought you was? Now I'm gonna go with the latter, cause ain't no fucking way I'm gonna believe you saw a chick and was like, let me get that for $1.5 million. Even if you got that $1.5 million to spare. And I guess that tells you about how I feel about Skip, because if you'd have told me he'd offered that amount to a man, I'd be like, yeah, that shit sound about right. I told you. Now with all this going on, Joy Taylor was allegedly getting her freak on all over the studio with Emmanuel Acho. This shit crazy, cause Acho one of the lamest, goofiest niggas on TV to me. I mean, a tether baby of the highest degree. And if I ain't know better, based on some of the takes he put on that show, I'm not sure he ain't got himself a red hat and call himself MAGA Manuel off the motherfucking camera. Cause ain't no fucking way. And her fine ass let this nigga clap cheeks. Man, listen. Okay. Let's slow down a little bit, cause I'm about to get heated, cause ain't no fucking way. But I do think this brings me to the biggest point here. Here at Red Flags Only, we try to take a different approach and look at things from a perspective or angle that folks might not have considered or simply just kind of missed all the way around. Shout out to Charleston Wright for repeating a lot of my Travis Hunter talking points in his last interview. Mine came out first though, nigga. I believe that the point that we might be missing here though is, and it's definitely a lesson for our young people, and that lesson is that you probably shouldn't fuck with anybody you work with unless you are prepared to lose that person, that money, your reputation, your dignity, and possibly your life. I'm not talking about two people with good situations that are mature and making a specific intentional decision to make a comfortable life together. On some very rare occasions, I have seen some work relationships blossom and turn into something beautiful, but that shit is probably less than 1% of people. Let's be honest. Now, I've been in the regular workforce for over 30 years now, and the one thing I've never done is fuck with somebody I work with. First things first, I'm always about keeping my paper straight. I'm a pretty simple dude. Don't lie on me, don't play with my food, and don't fuck with my money. And I recognize how big a part of the problem that I may play in the whole situation, so I control what I control. I have worked with some of the finest, most sexually active, free coochie giving women that you have ever seen in your life. And some of them have come at me in that manner. And no matter what stage of weakness I was in, the money always won out at the end. Not because I'm a psychic, and not because I'm greedy or anything like that. And I just know what the future holds. But it's because I am an avid historian, and I've seen how this shit has worked out in the years and days prior to me. I've seen two people get together at work and be madly in love for the first 6 months, and by the 4th of July, they at the gig throwing bleach on one another. I've seen two people be madly in love with one another at the job, and as soon as she finds out he's married, she plasters every car in the employee parking lot with photocopies of selfies, text message, and the infamous "this nigga sleep in my bed" picture. You know that picture, ladies. When you know you the side chick and you decide to take that selfie while this nigga sleep. Now, none of that shit is really out of the ordinary, except for the fact that if any bitch gonna get you, it's gonna be your side bitch. And this motherfucker made sure to post the pictures of you full out 100% sleep with your feet out, no socks on. You around the job telling motherfucker it ain't even like that. But every nigga in here know that if you and this motherfucker 100% sleep with your socks off, with your side chick, oh nigga, you like her. You maybe even be in love with her, and the pussy is good to you. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I've seen two people be madly in love at work one day, and the day after he get the coochie, you bring the man lunch because you cooked for your kids and had leftovers, and he slapped them pork and beans and hot dogs on the floor talking about, I don't fuck with you like that. I have seen two people be madly in love at work one day, have a kid together, and that shit don't work out. End up marrying another motherfucker at the gig. The man end up marrying another motherfucker at the gig, fine as owl feathers, and then go on to live the life that the other chick dreamed that you could do, and all she could do is harass the man at work. And she harassed the man at work so much that they just had to move her motherfucking workstation to a whole nother location because the way she was eye-graping this man was making other employees uncomfortable. I'm talking about male, female, and rainbow employees who were like, hey, I don't like this. This doesn't seem right to me. I've seen two people be madly in love at work one day. break up the next, and the female turned into a lesbian a week later. Then the new lesbian couple does a drive-by on the ex at work, and now nobody has a job, even the victim of the drive-by. Shit, that's what I be talking about. Niggas is liabilities, and when them multi-billion dollar companies get to that point, they gonna cut their losses. They not dealing with no liability. So, even the victim of the drive-by caught it because of those reasons. And so I've seen two people be in love at work one day, and the next day a 15-page R. Kelly trapped in the closet letter is distributed via work email with all the bosses CC'd in on it. And this is the one that I think that affects everybody. So a lot of these cases I just mentioned is shit that I experienced, but they're really extreme cases, what I'm saying, when it comes to this. But I think this one is the normalized one, the one that happens to affect everybody all the way down to a molecular level. And that's when he or she, your significant other, your side boo, your work boo, or whatever you want to call him or her, they come up to the job and they act a damn fool. And them people decide to let both of y'all ass go because it ain't a good look if somebody could get hurt from your liabilities. I can go on and on because I have seen way wilder shit than this happen because of dick pussy shit at the job. What I've only seen twice in all my years of working is two people that work together getting married and staying together. In one of those cases, the future bride took a supreme ass whooping from the ex at the gig. I mean, she beat a pop machine worth of soda out of this bitch. And the other two niggas, I'm gonna be honest, they was weird and made for each other. Wasn't nobody checking for them or trying to marry them but them. Now, as for these other folks that we started out talking about, the Freaky Sports Network 1 people, the Freaky Shit 1 folks. Now these folks, they really rich. They very rich and famous people. And there may be some extreme aspects of this case that may not occur normally, but in a real way, on the most basic level, each one of us could find ourselves in a situation similar to what these people is going through. The biggest difference only being the money and the notoriety involved. Now, for all my young people out there, I have a simple exercise for you. And if you can deal with the answer you give at the end of this, then have at it and good luck. Just know that the odds are ever against you and there's empirical evidence to back it up. Here's what you should do if you ever have an idea that you might want to smash somebody that you work with. Number 1, take a look at your salary and ask yourself, can you afford to miss this money if this shit don't go right? The next question, the backup question to ask here is, if you lose this paper, will this motherfucker you so in love with still fuck with you or be willing to take care of you until you get back on your feet? I'm going to tell you now, you might want to walk away if you can't. Number 2, find out if the other person actually wants to be in a relationship or if they're okay with just being the work spouse or just fucking. Knowing this up front can make all the difference in the world in whether or not you end up throwing bleach on the motherfucker 6 months later or plastering every car in the employee parking lot with unflattering photos and messages. And 3, finally, watch how this motherfucker perform under pressure at work. It don't matter if they the CEO or the janitor. If this motherfucker can't handle the regular pressures of the job and is routinely having arguments and meltdowns amongst their routine tasks at the gig, then this motherfucker probably don't need to be the inspector. This motherfucker probably does not need the shadow of good dick or pussy looming over them all day, because the first time somebody look at you wrong or get a little too friendly, this motherfucker gonna have you hemmed up in the corner somewhere, talking real close to your face with their eyes bugged out. Man, woman, or rainbow. Young people, please do not ignore the signs. This shit will definitely cost you money. It could possibly cost you your life. That's my 2 cents. Peace.